Ah.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
This is currently the best Logitech Lua for Rainbow Six Siege, and here is why. First, it is completely undetectable because it runs strictly through Logitech G Hub. No external executables reading your memory. Second, it features mouse position auto detection. Watch this. I simply click my operator in the menu, and the script knows which operator to load. You just click the operator card, and the recoil is instantly perfect, safe, easy, and effective. Discord link in description.
How the first game affected you? You can either feel tired or use that as a feel. How do you feel now?
I think we feel confident. I feel like we are getting these rounds closer because of our mistakes. Like I think we are playing really good Siege as a team, but we are still making small mistakes individually that are making the games closer. I feel like the games shouldn't even be this close. So I think this next map we're gonna fix like these small mistakes, and I think it should be not even as close as the last maps, hopefully.
We need to say that Julio's timeout made the difference at some point, but that wasn't enough. If you had to put the blame on something, what would it be?
Just ourselves. Like we lost ourselves that map. It was a very, very close map, but our team play wasn't as good as theirs, so I think that's what cost us the first map.
Valid points here coming from the two teams after this first map here in the series. Secret currently on map point 2, make it to the grand final tomorrow for the 6th Invitational. Looking at this map though, once
Okay,
again,
so I'm going
we
to show
hear from
you
Savage, you know,
RCS
it
Free,
gets
which is the
close,
free
tiny
version
mistakes,
of
loses
my
some of the
paid
rounds.
Yeah, that
recoil
happens. You know,
studio.
it's a snowball
This
effect, but both these
only
teams, what I will
has
say, they
recoil
did do
control.
well on their attacks in the beginning.
So
I
you go
would
to
obviously
Discord,
say that Secret did
and
do
you
it better.
can
They
generate a
understood the
key.
win condition. They understood how to prioritize finding the isolated
generate,
player, get that man
copy
advantage
the
going in
key.
favor, and then once you got
Over
to
here,
that
you go
mid
to
to later
the
half of the round, they knew how to go for that execute. But then it was on those little mistakes that
validate,
allowed Falcons to get that comeback. We saw that tactical timeout from Julio where we really would see Falcons then understand it. But again, it came down to the gumption, that just little bit of flair that Secret has to understand those win conditions to push them through into map 2.
I'm glad you mentioned that because Foxy is standing by for a deeper dive in those win conditions.
Win conditions is the name of the game. It was a great back and forth between both of these teams, and both teams have win conditions in this round, and I'll break down exactly what that is. A win condition is essentially a position that you want to die for or send everything that you can to be able to take it to give you a positional advantage to take the site. So let's look at what both teams' win condition is. With Bride pushing through break and Solitov also assisting through break and Liquifac pushing for 90 control, the win condition for Falcons is clearly taking CC control to be able to get picks, and then they can attack Armory or they can attack Archives. What is Secret doing to essentially be able to hold this position? Noah is tucked in the corner, and he is the win condition for Secret in this position. They know this, so they have to be able to set up protection around him. Mowgli will be there for that type of protection, but we can see as the round plays out, it doesn't necessarily work out. Liquifac gets the pick on the Mowgli, instantly traded. That is still the win condition alive for Secret, but when it comes to Falcons, they execute on being able to take 90 control, and this still looks like a very dire position. Bride and Solitov 2-on-1 with Amati against Noah. What is he going to do? Mid-round adaptation. We have Adrian rotate to retake the position that they lost on 90 to successfully retrade out Noah, and it works. It puts them in a 3v1 situation, and we can watch it all play out. The first pick comes out. They get 90 control, but Adrian retakes it. He gets 2 well-played shots, puts it in a 3v1, but uses the man on a mission, gets 2 kills immediately, and now it's a 1v1, and a well-placed C4 is able to give the round win to Secret. And that just goes to show that, yes, there can be multiple win conditions. Both teams can successfully be able to execute on them. But at the end of the day, Siege can come down to a 1v1, and it's anybody's game because it's the 6th Invitational.
Thank you very much, Fox. And I feel like we've highlighted so many rounds to Secret this event where they have that mid-round adaptation where things might not go to plan A, but they do find a way to fight themselves out of there. And that is very memorable thing with such a young IGL. We talked about Secret being one of the youngest teams here at this tournament, and they are just one map away from making it to the grand final.
Yeah, they absolutely are, and I think if they keep on this pace and not allow Falcons to find any bit of momentum and constantly constrict their movement, whether that's on attack, whether that's on defense, that's what they need to do. That needs to be the main priority. But it's also the heroics from these players. I mean, we talked about what got them through that Fluxo W7M game was it was big individual performance. It was big 3Ks, 4Ks, aces coming out of these players. Now, that's not something you totally want to rely on in this series particular, but it's what pushed them over this edge. And getting into this map, too, that's where we're going to need to see more team play happen. That's where we're going to see less mistakes happen. And as we said, the last time we saw them play Chalet, Falcons did have that over them. It was a 7-3. So coming into this matchup, typically when you're the loser in that series, you're going to be the one that takes the most from that. Now, however, they did recently play it against Fluxo. There is a lot of information. You can't switch on too much, but it is about adapting. I think what Fox covered beautifully was them understanding the win condition, how to adapt, how they can turn a losing situation into a winning situation. And that's where they're going to need to be so pivotal on.
Yo, wanna hit champion Rainbow Six Siege? I got the best Rainbow Six Siege header in the Reload! If you're a Hearthstone, copper, silver, heck, even deep down, I'm the #1 Rainbow Six. Yo, wanna hit champion Rainbow Six Siege?
Really have to breathe. You have to focus on what you do as a team.
Yo.
As an individual.
Run to me, confess your love, I used to say. Confess your love, I used to say. Confess your love, I won't also. Confess your love, I used to say. Confess your love, I feel the same. Confess your love, run to me.
Whether that's just hyping up the simplest kill, and I've talked about this before, it can be the most simple kill, but with a lot of backing behind it, a lot of just constant hype, energy. People need to be able to feed off of that and build that momentum. We did see that momentum start to happen, but it's even more imperative that Secret shut that down immediately once that starts to manifest.
All right, now we can talk about it a lot about what's going to happen in this second map, but we have some inside information as well from the coaches about map 2.
You just played Chalet against Fluxo. You showed so much game, so much strategies. How risk is it for you to play again?
I think like right now at this level of the tournament, they know everything that we do. We know everything that they do. So it's much more about who puts the better game into the server, you know? Nothing much about like counters and everything because they barely had time to prepare anything for that specifically that game. So I don't think it's a big deal.
We spoke about Falcons having the habit of losing this team throughout the game series in a best of 3, best of 5. You just lost a map. How do you work and deal with that?
I think border started low, but to be honest, we are pretty confident. The feeling is different from like yesterday, last map against FaZe. Everyone's confident, we trust the game plan, and we just have to play our game, but I think it's different from yesterday.
That sounds promising. If we hear from Julio going into the second map here. Now, Secret have already played that map, of course, earlier today. Again, Foxy, I feel like things got a little bit close there. There are opportunities for Falcons here.
There absolutely is. I mean, we saw how the last map just went when it comes to Falcons. They have a good game plan. If you're Julio, you're not going to be worried in this situation. Sometimes you just lose a series. It happens. Little details can cost you a game. That being said, they have a good game plan. Secret has looked human today on this map exceptionally, and we saw Twister say it's not going to be a matter of counter strats. It's not something that we'll see when it comes to Julio and when it comes to the IGLs in the server. It's the little adaptations, again, the minor details that make good players to great players.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even just looking at bans, how are you going to switch this from the last time you played it? You know, they banned out the Monty. Are they going to ban the Blitz? Because the Blitz was a formidable opponent this time. So do they get rid of both shields? Because that leaves the question, because then Blackbeard's up. Ying is still available. There's still a plethora of operators these players can play, especially at this level and caliber of these players. But the bigger question to me here is, yes, Julio might seem, you know, more calm in that nature, but we know how the players are. They are very mentally driven, and we've seen time and time again when things are stacked up against them. LickyFact does tend to lash out and let his players know what the frustrations are, what they need to fix, how they can address it. And again, are we going to see that side of LickyFact? And typically when we do see that, we do start to see them gain that little bit of momentum.
I hope so. For the sake of Falcons, do or die here. They want to make it to the grand final tomorrow. They got to win this map too.
Well, thank you very much. One map might be all that remains before tomorrow's grand finals. That means for Team Secret fans, you are over the moon. If you are Falcons fans, you are in the depths of despair at the moment. This has been an incredible one-map affair. You heard it from the coaches. We know how they play. They know how we play. You're going to go to a map that was just shown by Team Secret moments before, Jesse, and then was actually played earlier. So who matches up well against who? You have seen this Falcons team battle back from worse. They had a slow start to map number 1, but they finally took flight, but a bit too late. Now it's do or hopefully not die. Is this the end of the run for the hometown heroes? Do Secret go up to the grand finals tomorrow? Chalet.
Show me how good you are.
Fell back on their own map pick of Chalet to try to save the series and bring things back to a 3-mapper. They request to the operational staff with a better team across 2 maps. The biggest stage that Siege has to offer. It is Falcons to choose Chalet instead, and they are the ones who are going against a do-or-die situation. But there's no more lower bracket. We're already in it. Secret here on Chalet. It was a great point to come through from the coach of Falcons, Julio. They know how we play. We know how they play. These two rivals have gone up against each other so many times this season. It is all going to come down to execution.
I'm going to peel back the curtain just a little bit on what goes on behind the scenes.
Run to me, confess your love, at least to say. Confess your love, at least to say. Confess your love.
And the chatter amongst those who knew, because the players knew, we knew, or at least we had a good idea.
Sure.
Every time it came up, people would say, yeah, Falcons have only won one major. Yeah, they've lost in a lot of finals. Yeah, they're always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But wait for SI in Paris.
Yeah.
This has been the expectation for 2 full calendar years. Falcons in their own country, lifting the hammer. Now it's been kneaded into oblivion that they're the team that always finishes second. But that might not even happen at this point in time. Secret have an opportunity to put them in third and secure a berth up against what might be the greatest team we have ever seen play this game. 3 continued years of dominance for FaZe Clan. You know they want another hammer. Secret might be able to stand in the way of them, but first, they got to get through Falcons map pick.
I like the Capitao bans from Falcons. It's been a big operator for Mowgli over the last couple of months. He really does seem to thrive on this operator when playing Chalet. He was so important to start strong from Secret on map number 1 of Border. So slowing him down early could be the key to bouncing back on map 2. Falcons have chosen to start on the bottom floor as well. This is unorthodox. Most teams at the tournament think that this is the worst site on Chalet. They do not tend to play it. Falcons are an exception. They will always play this site over the top floor. The middle 2 sites get seen quite often from Falcons as well, but this won't be a surprise to Secret. Once again, they know how each other play, and there's no new strats coming out from Falcons as they rotate back down to the bottom floor for the first site.
Noah and June both eclipsing 200 kills at this event, joining a very elite set of company. I don't know if there's opportunity for anybody else in the lobby to get there. If it goes deep enough and Shaiko is a good second and potentially third game, maybe he reaches it. But you're just running out of rounds played. Opening pick on this map, by the way, goes in favor of Adrian. He was a bit quiet through the first half of Border. But when you need him the most, I suppose he shows up. Leaky Fact is far and away the best player on Falcons. He's the first to die. Usus will join him as Joom gets on the board, punishing Adrian. Now it's Savage taking some damage as Solitog is still on the run, flashed out of his position, but he's given up no HP in the process. Great line of sight there from Shaiko, but he can't do anything. Noah eliminates Bride. A minute to go, and Secret now doubling up on numbers. Rush in with the Bailiff. Mowgli taking one down, and it's a trade, and Savage. This Secret team is not mucking about, Jesse.
No, Parker, we started off Chalet the same way we started off Border, with Secret in full control. Really nice push coming out from them there. It starts with a very early pick on the Likifak, which was a rotate over towards West Main window. You saw that collapse from Secret up on the top floor before pivoting to a wine plant. The coordination is strong. The momentum is strong. Even with this crowd, the Secret fans, while outnumbered by the Falcons fans, are loud and are giving their energy to the players on Secret, who they are sitting right in front of. Both teams feeling that energy here in the Adidas Arena. And that bottom floor hold from Falcons really just picked apart by Secret in the opening round of map 2.
You might be able to afford to fall a little bit behind on your opponent's map. You cannot afford to fall behind on your own map facing elimination.
Yeah.
Foxe said this on the desk. The things that usually separate the good from the great, that's what ultimately makes you a champion. There are 1,000 things that are going through your mind at all times. There are 1,000 things that you need to prep for. You can't really prepare to get knocked that far on your behind early on your own map. And I think at this point in time, we can say with full confidence, Team Secret are warmed up. They're fragging just as well as they did against the best fragging team at this entire event, which was Fluxo W7M.
Yeah.
Now you've got to go up against a behemoth in the region, a team that consistently beats you interregionally, but the stakes are different. The emotions are different. The arena is different. So for Secret, showing up strong, showing up early, that might be the slightest of edges they need to overcome this Falcons team in that first round. If you put a couple more of those together, Secret are going to be in great shape.
It's a big if. Parker Solitov playing up here in the Mez position. He's of course got a friend in Library, that's Usus, who's playing just on this Wamai, trying to support his teammates with the Jaeger Wamai combo combined with the Mira. This should be very difficult for Secret to clear out. There's a lot of util they got to work around. They do have the Twitch drones piloted by Adrian. The goal is to get that in behind the Mira window, but it's so difficult when it's being defended by Usus, diligently holding on to this so that they can have that good angle onto the Ego window. And now worried about a pressure over from Library. It's Mowgli standing outside the Library window as the rest of his team clears through top floor. An extra position over towards Piano would not hurt for clearing out these Mez players.
Oddly very quiet second round here, as now you can hear the lumbering Blackbeard looking for an odd angle. Noah continuing his strong start as Secret are surging through these 2 rounds. Down goes Shaiko. Secret with another advantage. You have to watch the clock, but again, a lot of comparisons between our first map of Border and here on Chalet. A map that is favorable to the attackers and one that you can pull off and execute quite quickly on if you manage to narrow down those defenders.
In fact, knows there's one outside this door, but he's just been droned by Adrian, which could put a timer on his life. Saltov strikes back, but Noah gets another and he hits the shot straight onto Adrian.
Great read from these Falcons players. Noah and Savage, the last 2 standing. Noah has been mighty good. He's going to continue to do so. 4 kills through 2 rounds, and we're not done yet. 2-2. Looking on time. EFAC continuing his own incredible play from that very first map, and now Savage has his work cut out for him. 30 seconds to go, holding that defuse kit, unsure of where these defenders are, using the utility to their advantage. One will ascend from the basement, the other sitting in that back bar position. They know Shaiko's inside. I'll need a drink after that one. Brede shutting him down, and 1 round apiece for these 2 teams.
Yeah, we're seeing that bounce back a lot faster than we did on Border, Parker. It's going to be 1-1 apiece, just like we saw previously, but you can feel the energy is a bit different from the Falcons. They don't start that round strong. They lose the opening pick. They fall off without Shaiko. It looks dangerous from the window position from Noah, but in the end, their hold is very solid. They rely on their util, and they rely on their guns. Lickyfac down inside of Library felt like the most important play, down in Fireplace, I should say, making some aggressive moves, and despite being caught on a drone, this shot was so clean. He didn't have the information, the attackers did, but he's still not afraid to step up and take that fight, finds another on the blue stairs onto Noah, who was such a menace in opening that round and giving the opportunities to Team Secrets. You have to rely on guys like Lickyfac. If Shaiko is going to be going down early, if Uzis isn't going to be active in some of these rounds, Lickyfac needs to be the guy that they rely on to step up and make those big aggressive plays.
Yeah, I mean, Shaiko right now bottoming out compared to Solotov and Lickyfac. If you consider that most teams do have those 3 points of the spear, as we often refer to them as, with then 1 flex/support that can do what's needed depending on the map and the side that they are attacking or defending on, and 1 support player. Shaiko being the weakest and the dullest of those 3 points is not something you really want.
Well, speak of the devil, Shaiko will break a record for us, Parker. An operator not seen before the 6th Invitational. He will bring out the first alibi of this event. Commonly seen on Chalet to maybe try to give yourself a little bit of an easier time on these windows. Because the zombie gets permabanned on this map, the windows will get opened up so quickly, and as they do so, it will feed pings to Shaiko and the rest of the players on Falcons. The gadgets on Alibi usually not worth bringing on most maps of Rainbow Six Siege, but this is the place where we see her the most. Shaiko taking a chance on her today.
Back in that 1.5 meta, she was one of the most popular operators on this map, and I said it on Border, I'll repeat myself as I often do. There are lots of ways for the attackers outside of the building to kill you. Ditto the defenders, because it does work both ways. So if you are worried about getting killed through walls or windows, you're absolutely spot on. Those gadgets from Alibi are instrumental at not only keeping yourself alive, but gaining some intel in the process.
More good drone work from Mowgli, too. This Twitch has been a big problem. Could be the target of the ban after this round concludes for Team Falcons, but for now, it's just been finding utility. The position's still mostly unknown. Shaiko aggressive here on the Mez window, hoping to find somebody rappelling their way up, but it'll be Mowgli taking the ladder, the safer route, and a sound cue. Shaiko hears it and goes for the jump out. A brilliant play from the star player on Falcons.
Do I say the baguettes will clash? Am I allowed to say that?
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair to say. Mowgli and Shaiko on that collision course. Shaiko winning the duel, and again, another slow round from Secrets. They're grappling with the better side of this map. The familiarity should be there for both teams again. This was spoken of by Twister when Maria did the interview earlier. We know their game, they know our game. Now it's just going to come down to who it lands the more and stronger blows. Shaiko picked off by a great read of Jude through that soft wall. Bit of a janky bit here as Savage is boxed out of this site. He can't get through. The ex-Kairos not giving him passage.
Keep in mind they don't have top floor control, Parker, nor do they have control down below as LickyFact will set up a C4. All the map control is favoring Falcons at the moment.
Savage shrugging off the damage from that Nitro Cell, unsheathing that Scar. He's not the one finding the kills, but Secret is. All the same, you trade those around, it doesn't really matter. This team wants to win. Kills, stats, etc. be damned. Briefly, Users will give his position away. That's more information for this Secret squad. Nice read from EFAC, now on the run inside of West Main. He will not get out with his life intact. Job gets much harder from Usus, staring down the Blackbeard. Impervious to damage as those bullets shrugged off by the shield, and Adrian will send that round away. Secret regain the lead.
And Parker, I have to stress how good of a round that was from Adrian. His decision-making and positioning in that round was so strong. I mentioned they didn't have top floor control, and that was true for the majority of the round. But after he got a pick on the big window over inside of Master, Adrian retook top floor control, immediately found his way over to the Solar Stairs, and was able to get 2 picks at the tail end of that round, which really catapulted Secret into the power position and able to win it out. Some really nice early kills from Falcons over the last few rounds, but it just doesn't seem to matter when Secret are able to come back like that. The awareness to take certain parts of the map when they get given up has been perfect. And the Secret fans feeling quite good about themselves now, leading on map 2 and in the series.
It was a good run out by Shaiko. Almost loses his life in the process. I feel like sometimes negativity takes over when we're talking about the way teams play, but I honestly cannot point many fingers at either of these squads so far. And when you get down to the final 3 teams at an event, you're going to be getting close to perfect Siege. Nobody's perfect, no team is perfect. Everybody will make mistakes. G2 Penta did when they went on their Reign of Terror, Furia did when they were on theirs, and FaZe certainly is doing so now. Even though they've got 3 back-to-back-to-back SI Grand Finals under their belt, whether they come away with a second hammer tomorrow or not is something that remains to be seen. But in this Falcons Secret game, we are being treated to a beautiful thing. It is a shame that one of these teams have to go home, but that's what happens. We've already said goodbye to 17 squads here in Paris. A lot of good teams are sitting in the stands or are sitting at home watching this game. I'm a bit, I don't say this often, I get a bit nervous with some of these games, and I'm feeling a bit nervous right now. This is a heavyweight bout.
Well, Parker, the Falcons seem to have an answer. They will run the exact same bomb site back from 3 to 4, deciding that it's not the site that's the problem, but maybe the setup. All 5 operators change round, and Secret will get another shot at attacking here through the Solar side. That's where their players are currently positioning themselves. I thought we might see a Twitch ban coming out from the Falcons, but they go for the Grim instead. That's been an operator played a little bit by Noah, and we saw it earlier by Mowgli too. But the Twitch gets brought out one more time by Noah, so we can still see that utility coming out. No mirror windows to target this time for Secret, but those Kaid claws could be impactful. Some of those Fenrir gadgets as well. Very easy to clear out with the Twitch drones, but not if you're getting caught jumping into the building. The utility hasn't been so successful from Secret through the first 90.
Attacks from Secret have worked out more than they haven't so far, but you cannot allow this clock to get away from you. Hello? A jump scare there from Mowgli and LickyFact on those library stairs. 3-day and Nitro Cell, but the guns for Secret come out ahead. They will barnstorm on in, shredding this Falcons defense. I feel like a bit of a fool saying this was a sluggish attack. They were just setting up to burst through the gates.
I'm Parker. Now these last 2 players were disconnected. LickyFact drops down to the bottom floor to play alongside Brede just inside the site, but 60 seconds to go. A man advantage and all the positioning they could ask for. Secret have an easier time to win this round compared to what we just saw in round 3.
Brede surveying the hatch, completely unaware of the presence over by West Main. LickyFact has his teammates back, but damage has already been done for the Falcons, and it will get worse. Joom shuts it down. 3 rounds for Secret, 1 for the Falcons.
And everything seems on track for Secret. The pacing of these rounds, it can be a bit slow, but you're right. They are setting up. And we may get attack timeout from Julio.
When we are playing, it's fine. I will still
it's not fine.
Play close to each other. No, I mean like they stretch, you know? I feel like we should just play close to each other again. we put traps. For example, for wine, we can put the goyos. I still feel like these fallbacks are fine. It's just the way we are dying, you know, mid-round for these gaps. Because I don't think the solution is just play aggro, just play crazy. You guys can. If you guys are confident, you can do it. Just pick the fucking solid, pick anything good, and do it. But I feel like
no, I wouldn't.
You can just shoot the fuck down, put traps, and put coils for late round, and put the traps for gaps. We can still win these 2 rounds, and we go attack in the mid map, okay? Just shoot it down.
Together again, like I said. Okay. What we are going to do now? It's Brede, you play Bandit, Farty, you play Sheko. We do basement.
That's another calming tack timeout coming out from Giulio Giacomelli, who has been really stressing how important it is to calm down the players. Doesn't want them to get crazy. They're down by 2, and Chalet can be attacker-sided, but don't feel like you have to throw yourselves out windows and make crazy plays just to win this one back. The Falcons know if they can set up these traps, if they can slow down the pushes when they come through, they can win.
Are you a Roblox fanatic? Microsoft Rewards has a brand new way for you to earn digital gift cards from Roblox.
Just sign up. Hi and welcome to the Razer Synapse 4 installation instruction. After purchase you will receive the files in a zip file. To extract the files, double-click on it and extract them to the desktop. When we open the folder you will see a setting folder.
Burst of aggression that we've seen round after round, there's still hope for the Falcons.
This is nothing really related to the strategy, but it sounded like somebody burped. Did you hear that?
In the tack timeout?
Chad, did you hear that? It did sound like somebody burped right as he did.
Okay.
Sometimes people are gassing. I had a bad oyster. I understand what that was like.
Yeah, you were pretty knocked out, Parker. We're glad to have you back.
I'm just like the Michael Jordan flu game. I'm giving the flu Castro.
There you go.
I'm not quite as not quite contagious.
Nice little nade being used there just to stop any tricking from Brede, forcing the Bandit to back off so that they can get this wall open without any issues. Savage makes sure that is a prime priority, and they get that open immediately 30 seconds into this round. Now, the last time we were on this bottom 4 site, it was a real fast push from Secret inside of Kitchen, inside of Wine. Looks like it's a bit of a different strategy coming out from Team Secret. They've still got some information, and of course, got a Fuse kit over towards Big Garage as well, so the finish could be the same, but we're not seeing that same pressure up above inside of Dining.
I mean, have we really spent much time to talk about how perplexing it is that we're seeing this bottom 4 bomb site?
Yeah, we mentioned it right early on, but Falcons do not play top floor of this map.
Should we talk about it again?
Well, there's a couple other things going on at the moment.
I don't know what you're talking about. A huge swing from Falcons now as they find 2 to answer Joom's kill. Joom in the ground, as is Adrian. Mowgli will tie things up in terms of player count. 75% win rate for the attackers on this bomb site historically.
Yeah.
But again, as you pointed out, favorable bomb site for Falcons, so they defy the numbers. Great shot by Noah. The smoke obscuring Brede, pulling out the Caritas, getting the job done with the sidearm. Remember, it's always quicker to swap to your secondary than to reload. Falcons with the advantage with just a little bit over a minute to go. Secret looking to claim this first half. 4-2 scoreline would be excellent.
Yes, and this is going to be a very telegraphed push. They've got one smoke to play with, but a Savage falls. Mowgli's got it all to do.
Mowgli almost had a chance, but Solitov shuts him down before he can get things going. One more round remains. A comeback still very possible. A 3-3 half for Falcons would be really quite a win.
And another bit of a slow round coming out from Team Secret. I wonder if after that attack timeout, maybe they expected some aggression from Falcons. A lot of teams will call attack timeout and then immediately go for a rush track, go for something aggressive, try to catch.
This season, you've got places to go, people to see, and things to do. You may have already gotten vaccinated for...
Might have caused even more problems to the attacking plan for Team Secret. It was a fast opening over towards Snowmobile, but those roamers really were not addressed. They were primarily focused on the bottom floor, and sure, the aggressive moves did get caught. They were able to stop looking back on it.
I want to hug.
At the same time, the site players were thriving for Falcons, and without enough walls open, without enough back pressure coming in, snow stairs or blue stairs, it just wasn't a multi-dimensional push. And it was an easy task for Falcons to shut that down in the end.
Well read and well understood. Final round of this first half. Both of these teams meeting each other at their fury. Kills right now, high water mark 6 apiece, shared evenly by Leaky say this is concerning for the Falcons.
Start to wonder if maybe the gas is almost out inside the tank. Parker, the desk touched on it before the series began, but Falcons have had slow finishes to tournaments. Nobody has to remind the fans, but 4 second-place finishes over the last 2 years is a devastating chain of results for this team. A 3rd place, I mean, that would be unthinkable from this squad. Everybody thought top 2 was a lock, and then it's just a matter of do they win, but Secret are making that a huge question mark at the moment. I like the clear to come through. They force one out and find the entry onto Solotov.
He went fishing for a while. Good patience from Mowgli, just tapping away on that angle. Solotov showing some frustration on his face after that one, and for good reason. The comeback is still possible for Falcons, but surrendering that first pick, not what you want.
Now with still lots of time on the clock, Secret can play with their food. The drones are strong. Lickyfack is forced to move in multiple directions. He finds a Blackbeard replay in the window, but even he can't punish it. The hatch is open. He doesn't have a wide enough swing. And now being tracked by the Death Mark, he has to drop surely Parker.
He has to do all this himself, dancing around the nade. Not quick enough for Secret to follow up on this. 3 different sets of eyes staring in his direction. That one-tap jiggle peek with the SMG-11 has killed many a great player. Lickyfack is hoping to do that at least once. He's got a good read on this Blackbeard, harassing him with both yellow pings and the red marks, so they know exactly where he is. What can Uses do? Bride is there for the assist. Down goes Mowgli, and the drop from Lickyfack does finally come in.
Yeah, they take down Uses though, Parker, trying to assist his captain in the blue stairs, but it's caused chaos as Noah's finding a multi-frag. Lickyfack and Bride in the 2v3 as we go for a brief pause.
Lickyfack wanted another. He knows how damaged Joom is, and a single shot will fell the Blackbeard. Take advantage of the fact that they've given up this library control. Lickyfack, look at the balls on this guy, trying to retake blue stairs.
No.
Look in the wrong direction. Shut down as Bride's Nitro Cell finds 2. Noah versus Bride. For 10 kills on the side of Noah, Bride has all the info and all the advantage. Noah does not have the defuse kit, and he is being harassed by these pings. Bride just needs to wait this one out. No chance for Noah, right? What is wrong? What was that from Noah? My God!
Oh, Bride, he just peeks at Parker. He doesn't have to. He's inside of storage. He's got every chance to win that round, but it's the hero from Border. It's Noah silencing this crowd. Adidas Arena was ready to erupt after that Nitro Cell clawed it back from a 1v3 to a 1v1. But Noah is just too good. He does not stop fighting for that kill. Of all the rounds, of all the moments, that might be the one that sends Falcons down a spiral.
You can't help but remark on the difference in demeanor of these teams. All 10 player cams being shown on the Jumbotron here at Adidas Arena, and there is a very definite mood shift after that one. Falcons looking glum during that timeout. Shaiko looked absolutely defeated. Admittedly, Shaiko doesn't always look happy unless they're pulverizing their opponents, and don't get me wrong, I know the goal for Shaiko and the rest of this team is to win, but it must be getting to Shaiko with how his performance has gone on Border and now here on Chalet. Bride gets baited out perfectly by Noah. A great capitalization by the Swede on the side of Secret. 4-2 first half. You're on the favorable side of your opponent's map. This is basically what's supposed to happen.
Yes. But 3 rounds now separates Secret from the grand finals. I mean, you look on paper, this is not that bad of a position from Falcons, but mentally, it doesn't feel like it. You go back all the way to the second day of this event. Savage, a great interview that he did with Maria, our interviewer here at the event, and he said, I think we have a strong mental, especially versus some of these top teams, and especially when we're down. I think the mental game of Secret is something that doesn't get talked about quite enough. They've won tournaments in the past, champions at EWC. If it's strong, Parker, if it is good enough here on their own map pick, on the stronger side, defending on Chalet, it could be the only thing they need to win this against Falcons. The same cannot really be said for the boys in green.
No, I have not seen them looking this defeated in a long, long time. They've already used their timeout. They will get the added benefit of now attacking on the map that they chose. This should weaken the position of Secret, and if you're a keen study of Flexo W7M's match against Secret earlier, you know that comebacks are very possible. The Brazilians almost pushed Secret to a third map earlier today. It did not work out, but that comeback happened here on Chalet. Shut down by Secret in the final round of overtime, but still, maybe some panic had set in for the European fans.
It's a great shot to say to Noah, cool down, buddy. 10-5. He has been lighting up the scoreboard so far on Chalet, but they put him to bed at least for one round now on the defensive side. It puts more pressure onto Mowgli. He's fighting players out the window. He's getting blown to bits, and now it's a three-man lead for Falcons with still over half the round to go.
They're still repelled. They're not in the building. Oh my, Chalet, what a beautiful sight you are. Secret having some troubles on this very first defense of this Falcons map. June will find his footing. 7 kills for him. He and Adrian will now have to work together for the remainder of this round. Falcons without their main hard breach. Still got 2 can openers. Whoops, never mind. Brede just died with them in pocket. June finding yet another. A little bit above the head of the third. Squaring himself away onto the Capitao. Oh my goodness, he takes down the sledge in the process. Shaiko and Solotom are there for the final 2 kills. Okay. Deep breaths, Falcons fans. An impressive run. Getting those picks. June first shutting down that cap, shutting down the sledge, shutting down Usis. That was a great play by Secret. It wasn't ultimately close enough, but it was a good bounce back from how bad that round started.
Yeah, I think starting off with the opening pick in the second half is so important for Falcons. Get that mental back up. We always talk about the pressure on a stage like this at the 6th Invitational in Paris, the hometown of Shaiko, the hometown of Liquifac, the hometown of Brede. They're clean kills. Frankly, the shots are brilliant to come through, largely outside the building. The DMRs sing, and even when Joom makes things scary, even when Joom says, hey guys, you haven't won this yet, the composure never breaks for Falcons. They close out a round that they should be winning and bring this game to within 1.
Something that we've debuted at this event is this drone footage. No boom arms required. We've got a drone that's been flying around the event, taking great crowd shots for all of you. It's a great tool in the arsenal of our production team who have done an outstanding job so far. I honestly don't know who made the reveal of the next 3 events, but that